All right, so not too long ago, I reviewed the Men in Black trilogy, 1 to 3, and I said in that review that I was going to be reviewing Men in Black International when I got the chance to, even though I did not hear many great things about it. It is on Netflix, and I caught it on Netflix, and I watched it just the other day, and I'm here to talk a little bit about it. It has its moments. I'm not going to say it's as horrible as people were making it out to be. Um, it's it feels enough like a Men in Black movie. It basically feels like a Men in Black movie, except with an entire new cast, which is essentially what it is. And it's okay. It definitely has its annoying moments. I mean, the script is kind of just it's there. It's there to serve a Men in Black purpose. It's a man and a woman in black this time, so I guess you could say people in black. I don't know. But Men in Black still works. It is what it is. The girl's great. I really like I forget the actress name, but she's fantastic in this movie. She's badass. She's boss ass, and she she does what she's asked to do really well, and she delivers her character very well. The problems in everything in this movie just revolve around the writing. Essentially, the writing is not like as witty as it should be. It's kind of silly. It's like eye rolling a lot of times, especially when they have scenes that are trying to like aim at some kind of like punch or metaphor or symbolizing something that you're just like, oh, this again, like 100 times. Like, how many more times do we have to see these tropes, kind of thing? It's that kind of stuff. But there's characters and actors that are great in here. I mean, Liam Neeson shows up, which is awesome. To see Liam Neeson show up in a Men in Black film is great. Chris Hemsworth is okay. He's playing Chris Hemsworth. That's what he does in in every movie is just play Chris Hemsworth, and he does fine with it. Another actor that I'm blanking on the name, I should write names down, but another actor that is in here is an actor that he's a British actor. He plays Agent C in here. He was in both Shaun of the Dead and he was in Green Street Hooligans. And in Shaun of the Dead, he played the employee at the store when Simon Pegg, there you go, is training the employees, and he's that kid with the red hair who like gets on his phone. He's like, "Was totally drunk last night or some shit," and he's like, "You got red on you," that whole red on you scene. He's like, I got things to do in my life too. I'm 29 for Christ's sake, and the kid's like, "When?" How old are you? 17. It's funny. He plays that kid, but he's in this movie, obviously grown, much more grown up now, and he's a good character too. He's an agent along with Agent T, and a lot of dialogue that comes out of his mouth is pretty hilarious. Unrecognizable unless you look him up, like in those two movies, Green Street Hooligans and Shaun of the Dead, but it's definitely him. When you hear him talk and see him talk, his facial expressions, they're there. So the main girl, Molly, who later in the movie becomes Agent M, it shows her in '96 as a little girl, and her parents are visited by the Men in Black, and they have their memory erased with that little thingy that I forget what it's called, and an alien comes into this little girl's room and gets away later. And then there's a scene in 2016 where there's an alien fight at the beginning of the movie in the Eiffel Tower. That was pretty cool, and it's cool to see again Liam Neeson and Chris Hemsworth, you know, be on screen together as two Men in Black. The story progresses where Molly's an adult now. She's trying to apply for the FBI, and she on like something equivalent to Google Maps or Google Earth sees this like alien landing, and she's really her dream is to work for the FBI. So, and she believes in the Men in Black because she saw them as a little girl and she did not have her memory erased, and she's basically on the hunt for Men in Black essentially because she wants to be part of the organization. And she sees this alien landing and she goes to investigate it herself, kind of rogue, and eventually she finds it, and she's led and she basically sneaks in and finds the Men in Black headquarters of New York City, and Agent O returns, played by Emma Thompson, and it's good to see her back as well. One of the OG characters, without the other ones being involved in this film. It's fine. I mean, it is what it is. A new cast doesn't really destroy the film, but it'd be nice to see some returning cast. But even if you don't, it still is what it is. But Emma Thompson returns as Agent O, and she's very impressed with the agent, or Molly. And I like how Molly like literally says like, "Listen, I found you. I found you. What does that say about your security? And what does that say about my intelligence? So hire me, hire me, bitch." And I liked her attitude there. It was funny. So she does get hired. She becomes a woman in black, I guess. Men in black, or woman in black, woman in black. Yeah. So Agent M, brand new on the force, I guess, the as a Men in Black. Um, she convinces Agent H, Chris Hemsworth, to work together. It's completely obvious she has a crush on him. She is thirsting over him like a motherfucker. Does not make it subtle whatsoever. And she goes up to him. She pretends to be professional, and she's trying to like kind of nag him and throw him some disses and like give him reasons to work with her and stuff like that. And they do, and then they get assigned on the same mission. They're trying to hunt down this alien named Vungus or something. He's this like alien weird ass looking creature. They go to a nightclub, and they want to get like info out of this guy. There's a really great alien fight scene, and I really like two of the villains. They're these twins that they can like basically turn into matter, any kind of matter that's around them. They really give me like T-1000 vibes from T2, Terminator 2. And it's really cool, that fight scene, and just the aesthetics going on. There's this car that explodes and literally like jumps into the air and spins and starts to hit onto buildings and then fall down. And the weapons used in this scene is great, and the action in it is good. This film does drag a little bit. The third act kind of feels tagged on and forced on, as if you're watching like something completely different, like it's a different movie. There's this woman introduced named Riza, and like everything that involves her and when she comes into the film just seems forced, in my opinion, anyway. And there's some like the pug, the little dog, returns, and he's voiced by the same guy that voiced him in Men in Black and Men in Black 2, but he's not shown even close to enough as he should be. There's not Frank the pug. That's it. He's not shown. He's like at the beginning pretty much, and that's about it. And they also show those little skinny aliens too that were famous for the first films. They come back, but again, very short lived. And they introduce like other aliens. There's one named Pawnee, who's this little tiny alien. He's fine. He just doesn't. He doesn't compare in like epicness and comedic value and like memorable. Like he's not memorable. He's not memorable like the other aliens in the other films were. Like there's this other alien that's he basically hides himself in this guy's beard, and he'll pop out of his beard and start talking. And again, it's kind of funny, but it's not super memorable like the other aliens were in the other films. It's just like the aliens that they try to make, you know, front screen and put a lot of detail into, just seem like lesser versions of things that you've seen before in the other movies. So it's fine. There's this hive story where Chris Hemsworth and Liam Neeson destroyed this hive, and then there's this plot element that it's slowly revealed that Agent H had his memory wiped out, like after the vibe, because they find evidence that this hive was not actually destroyed and is still in existence, and like the whole battle never happened. So they erased Agent H's memory so he would think that they destroyed the hive. So I guess they erased his memory and told him like, everything's done, we completed the mission. And he's like, okay, but meanwhile he was lied to the whole time. So they dive into that plot device or plot element, and Overall, it's just I guess a weaker Men in Black entry, but it still feels like a Men in Black movie with a different cast. I just think they, it doesn't have that oomph that the other films have. Like the original trilogy works so good in what it is and as a whole trilogy, and they're so good to binge. And this one just feels like, I don't know, a bonus episode kind of thing. And not to take away from any of the cast, because I think they did a good job casting everybody, and I think this lead girl actually does phenomenal and replaces, you know, the OG characters well, and gets into the Men in Black shoes really well. So totally cool with everybody casted. Just a better writing team, or just writer in general, would probably do a lot of favors for the film. But you could do worse. I mean, it is on Netflix for free, so if you have the original three, like, it's not something I wouldn't buy. If I found it on Blu-ray or 4K for a decent price, I'd put it into my collection and put it next to the original trilogy. It wasn't horrible, but eh, it was average movie that I gave 2.5, 2 out of 5, which is the score I generally give to movies that are great in certain elements and then lack in others. 2.5 is my 50-50 basically. So yeah, that's what it got from me, and that's Men in Black International, the latest Men in Black film. So check it out if you want. It's on Netflix, and make up your minds for yourself and let me know what you think. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more when I can soon. Check out what's on the channel. Subscribe if you're interested. And until next review, take care and cheers.